Okay, let's hope that this is working. All right. Okay. Share. And share. Okay. It's working. Can you hear me? Okay. This stream stuff with YouTube has changed. So I want to make sure that everybody can hear me and that you can see me okay. Before I start sketching, you are here and you got a notification. All right, great. I shared it on Facebook in my group, and I shared it okay. I think I shared it everywhere. So let's just make sure that I have everything. Okay. I think I have everything. Audio and video is perfect. Okay. I might be a little lopsided because of the way that this is. My face, I'm hoping it'll be okay. But I didn't want to be in the way. So I'm going to wait for just a few minutes to let a few people come in, but while we wait, I thought we'd go through because you can see your desk clearly. Yes. So this is one of the things that I'm going to sketch, and I'm going to show you a shortcut for those of you who don't feel like you can, yay! For those of you who don't feel like you can sketch, you can't draw, that kind of thing, I'm going to show you something that hopefully will help you. But first we're going to, because I didn't do yesterday's page, and I wanted to do something that I could do on here and to show you that I'm doing this as kind of I go. Yesterday I filled in this. I filled in this stuff, and I still need to kind of color the background, but anyway. Okay. I messed up. Ro had the Chronicles, and it showed up on my calendar as 4 p.m. That's 4 p.m. her time. 4 p.m. her time is 4 p.m. Is, yes, is 11 o'clock in the morning my time. It's 11 o'clock in the morning my time, so yeah, I missed it. I was busy with getting ready, and I went to my daughter's and picked up Selena while Victor had school stuff. And anyway, so I was at Walmart getting 75 feet of Ethernet cord to go in the conduit. Okay, so let me get my paper towel, because in a minute I'm going to be sketching, and I always try to keep a paper towel. Okay, so my sketchbook so far, and I messed this up. I mean, this is for practice. This is to get back into the swing of art. So, what I've been doing, I originally did my glass, my mason jar that I keep water in, and one of my palettes, and I have quite a few of them. That's this one right here. one of my pencils, one of the pens, one of the brushes. Okay, well, it should not be buffering. So let me just close out of some of these windows so we don't have issues. Okay, maybe that will help. Okay, maybe that will help. All right, am I buffering? You missed it too? You thought it was a reading week. All right, it says that YouTube's not receiving enough video, but so far mine says everything's okay. So I don't know. But bandwidth may come and go because, you know, y'all know I live out in the country and we don't have the, what you call it here? The underground. I can't think of the name of it right now. But anyway, so I notated some of that. I fixed this, but I've got to fix this. I don't know what I'm going to put right here. But this looked like a fly swatter. I was buffering. Okay. I closed out some of the windows that were on my computer. So, I'm closing things just to make sure that everything's okay. This did not look like a net full of bags of cash. It looked more like a fly swatter has squished a bunch of flies. But I knew what it was, so I put the money here, drew the little helicopter, put the cliff with the person bolted, and the person right here were the mountains, because that was what was in that movie. My spider plant turned out really well. When you look at it, you know it's a spider plant. My squirrel mug turned out really good. Victor and I watched Tron. I watched this movie on Netflix called Midnight Special. We had salmon and shrimp and garlic and Parmesan mashed potatoes with these different shades of green beans. They were really good. They're in the frozen section, and they're a bunch of different green beans, and they're different colors. I started filming something for Patreon. I edited the sketchbook stuff. I did my little pumpkin. Victor had Special K with fruit and yogurt in it. Hello. And like I was editing that first video. I have been reading this book of poetry called I Am Her Tribe. I was notating something that's very important: communicate, listen, and understand. This was what was left on my plate after dinner. I made homemade spaghetti, what I call spaghetti lasagna, where I make spaghetti and then I put it in the pan and then I cover it with mozzarella cheese and then I put it in the oven. I talked to my cousin on the phone. We went to Lowe's and looked at insulation and beadboard and stuff like that. Oh, this is gonna do that. Dang it. Means okay, I'll close one more. I'm gonna close everything that I can close. Okay. So, David made me breakfast in bed. Y'all let me know if it gets too bad. I notated, started doing like a thing. This I need to take my white pen to, and right here, okay, because this what had to do with the Find Suzanne, which I have a little thumbnail. I was practicing different things. I put the mountains, I kind of put them, but you can't really tell. I put the mountains back here because there's so many leaves. But I was trying something different with the trees. Now, I didn't do any of this with pen. This is all with watercolor. I did add in a little bit of pen around the edges, but I haven't finished. I've been trying to do sometimes watercolor first to practice, so I don't draw with pen or pencil every time. This was Rose class last Saturday. And I created this with watercolor first. I followed along with her. Then this was Sunday. My cousin came, and he's hopefully going to be able to fix our SUV. We're hoping. And he and my husband jammed for a while with their guitars. And my cousin made us dinner and dessert. And he made, I don't know what, he calls them sloppy joes. But it's not sloppy joe like when you think of sloppy joe. It's not red sauce. It's more like pepper steak sort of sloppy joe. But instead of steak, it's hamburger meat. And he uses provolone cheese and Worcestershire sauce. That's a mouthful. And onions and bell peppers, and man, it's delicious. it is delicious. He made Watergate cake. Now, he didn't put the coconut in it because I don't care for. I like the taste of coconut, but I do not like the texture of coconut. So, like, I'll drink coconut water. I'll use coconut oil, but I don't eat coconut. Monday was like David had made bowl peanuts Friday night, Saturday morning, and we had some left over, and I had bowl peanuts for lunch actually, and they were oh my goodness, I had quite a few of them. It's not like Pringles, you can't eat just one. This was, I started puttying the floor on Monday. I finished it up Tuesday by sanding. I had to clean. I was going to paint on Tuesday, but it took me so long to sand and clean that I didn't actually start painting the floor in the barn until yesterday morning. I was going to do the clear coat today, and I may do that this afternoon, but it's been too hot. And I have to open the windows and open the door, and it's really humid in there because it's not insulated yet. And this was more of the fine Suzanne stuff. This is where they had the active hit, and Andy, Suzanne Morphew's brother, waited for them to process it. This is going to get on my nerves. This YouTube is not receiving enough video smooth streaming. I'm not opening the widget. I don't need to open the widget. Opening the widget is going to cause it to buffer more. I'm reading. I finished up Shut Your Monkey and started reading Find Your Artistic Voice, which I started like probably last year sometime. Warning: the current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use a stream bitrate of 4500 kbps. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. So I am like on page, I just got to page 14, but I finished to Shut Your Monkey. And this, I really wanted to do this before, but I got distracted by a different book, and you're receiving really good audio and video. Okay, great. Y'all, where I live, if the wind blows, I mean, you know, I have the fastest internet speed thing that I can get where I live. It's like 50 for download and like 5 for upload. But, you know, anyway. So I documented the wood putty that I got and doing the floors. Your sister's here, so you'll have to watch the replay. Thank you so much, Susan. You're so sweet. Enjoy your time with your sister. I had a blast with Miss Selena earlier today. She had just woke up when I put her in the buggy and I took the pictures. My daughter was like, she's so serious looking. But me and her had a good time. I found a pair of little shoes on clearance for her for like, just like they were $3 and something because they were spring shoes. But I've got to take them back because they're a little too snug for her chunky little feet. So, you know, babies have chunky feet. So Victor and I on Tuesday we were on Facebook Messenger via video, and I was helping him with his social studies. So I documented that. There's me and there's him, and I need to finish coloring in the background and go over this again. And this didn't turn out quite the way that I wanted to. I mean, it doesn't look like the book. This is more green. I need to go back over it with the blue, but that's okay. I know what it is. And like I said, these don't have to be perfect. So these are the wood floors, puttying. We've had rain, rain, rain. We had some sun. Like, I mean, it's been, now it's like, it's so hot and humid today. So I wanted to document yesterday. I'm not going to do the weather right now because I'd have to go online and look up what the weather was yesterday. And I'm not going to do that. But I wanted to do this. So for those of you who want to draw, but you don't feel like you can draw, and you want to draw something, if you've got something that you can outline, okay, that didn't come out very well, but okay. But the premise is, if I'd have held it right, it probably would have. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So we know this is going to be, we're going to put like, because I want it to be more, I don't want it to be flat. So we're going to have like a thing under here. Okay. So we've got, oh, this little, not perfect. And I really suck at doing S's. And I know it's crooked. But that's okay. I think I might go in with yellow gouache over this. And then white. So I'm just going to draw the coconut. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to want to do, let's see if this is the purple. Let's see. That's blue. That's as close as I'm going to get to it, I think. Yep. Hey. So I think I have another purple in my other palette, so I might go to that one after I put this one on. You're trying to draw your mouse. It's pretty simple, yeah. If whatever you want to draw, if you have something that you can actually trace the basic shape of, you can go back in with other things and fill it in with paint, ink. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because each time you could go back later and not trace it and try to draw it without tracing. You can trace it and see how it does. And if it doesn't look quite right, then you can go back over the lines and fix it. But the whole point of the sketchbook is to have fun with it. And right now I'm not worrying about shadows or highlights. I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm not trying to be perfect with this. Okay, that's a different color, purple. This is actually the color of that. So let's move this around, because now that I put this other purple, it's gonna get be darker. Alright. Great idea to trace. You're going to try your colored pencils and add color. So I'm going to let that dry. While I let that dry, we're going to talk for a few minutes. One of the things that I noticed when I was reading The Artistic Voice, scoot this over. I wrote it down in my bullet journal. What he talks about, one of the things is that your artistic voice is always changing and evolving. And the reason that it's always changing and evolving is because you're learning. He talks about the best way to find your artistic voice is to speak your truth. That it's actually your own point of view as an artist, because it includes your particular style. Things like your own color palettes, symbols, lines, and markings, your skill, your subject matter, your medium, and the consistency with which you use all of those things. It reflects your unique perspective, your life experience, identity, values, because it's a reflection of what matters to you. It's what makes your work yours and what sets it apart from others. And the more that we're doing things and the more that we're learning things, even when we're learning from other people, there are things that I do, like my Captain Jack Sparrow right there. I was following along with Ro. I can tell whenever I'm following along with someone else, because my work tends to look a little bit more reminiscent of their work because I'm following along with them. And that's okay, because I'm learning. And the more that I do things, the more that I learn. And the moment that you start actually like thinking about your artistic voice, whether it's with art or writing or DIY projects or poetry or music or whatever, because we all have that creative voice, that artistic voice. It's just how we choose to convey it. I think what he says is that finding your way towards your artistic voice, it's an exercise in discipline. It's also a process of discovery, because we're experimenting, and that's trial and error. And he talks about the thing that finding your way with all of that has to do with practice and repetition, that you're also going to be filled with frustration and self-doubt. Sometimes you're going to be feel a bit humiliated, like the fly swatter that's supposed to be a bag of cash right there, that, you know, even my daughter was like, "Mom, what is that thing?" You know, and I knew what it was, but I was drawing it from my head because the part of that movie had already passed. And so that's why now you have the little helicopter and the cash, and I wrote net full of cash. And there's the movie. And I'm going to write down movie, and I'll put the people that were in it maybe below it. But that's why sometimes when I'm not sure of something, you know, my daughter was like, "Mom, quit trying to draw things from your memory, from your head. Because you can't see right when you're doing that. Find a picture of whatever it is, at least pretty similar to it, maybe on Google or Creative Commons or on Pinterest or somewhere, in a brochure, in, you know, something. Find that or something very close to it so that you can look at it and draw it from that. Because drawing from my memory, not so good. That's how things end up looking like a fly swatter instead of a net that was hanging from a helicopter full of bags of cash. So I think I've been thinking about my style. I've talked about it before. Other people think I have a style. I guarantee you that those of you who've been following me for a long time, since the original Fobonichi group and the Omni Journal stuff, since my very beginning, when I started posting journal videos after, like, I was doing NaNoWriMo to begin with, and then I went a lot of you would say, you know, this is very, very much, this kind of stuff is very much my style. But I'm trying to improve and trying to evolve and trying to get better about things. And I'm trying to have patience. And patience is not one of my virtues. So, instead of taking the heat gun to this, which is what I really want to do, but the heat gun's gonna like be really loud in your ears, I'm trying to let it dry. And that takes patience, patience, patience. Because if it's wet, then the red that I'm going to put here from that is going to bleed. You do have a style, you like it? See, I know my style is definitely more illustrative, and I think what I'm looking to do for my own self is sort of a hybrid of, you have definitely increased skill a lot. You've been here a while and you see it, it motivates you. Thank you. I can do things when I take my time and do things, I can actually draw pretty well. I'm trying to improve my drawing skills and improve my watercoloring skills. I'm trying to use more colored pencils to add in detail. I'm trying to use more fine brushes to add in detail. I'm trying at the same time to be more loose and relaxed and to also have fun and to do things like this where I'll draw the weather and then down here I'll do something, and then on the in-between I'll kind of do a little bit of writing. Because this and some of their other products that have to do with the miracle curls have really made a difference with my curls. Not today, mind you, because my hair, I have bedhead, because as soon as my daughter woke me up and then I went to the bathroom and she called and I was like, oh, and she's like, it was, you know, Mimi, there was a little bit of an emergency because Victor had school and he had to sign back in online and be active, like we're in the class, like on video. And Selena is teething. She'll be 14 months old on the 13th of October. And she's getting a lot of teeth in at one time. So sometimes she's a very cranky baby. And she goes to sleep pretty much 5-10 minutes after you get her in the car. My daughter and my son did that when they were little too. So I told her, I said, okay, well, since Victor's got class, and you need to do some stuff around the house anyway, why don't I pick up Selena? And so that's what I did, because I spend time with Victor all the time, and but I don't get as much of a chance to spend time with her. So I was excited about it, and I had to run some errands, and I actually got me a Starbucks, y'all. I got me a Starbucks. So, anyway, the curl stuff. This has been fabulous. I don't remember who recommended it, whether it was Mains by Mel or if it was somebody else, but it's somebody with curly hair recommended this as one of the over-the-counter things that you can buy for people who have curly hair. And it smells so good. It has coconut, Australian jojoba oil in it. It doesn't have sulfates. The first few ingredients are water, mineral oil. It does have glycerin in it and petroleum in it, and I'm okay with that. I alternate. I don't use the same thing all the time anyway. Once this runs out, I'll go on to something different because I don't want my hair to get too used to something. I have to kind of keep changing it up. Otherwise, my hair will get too used to it and then it won't work right anyway. So I wanted to document that I'm really loving these. Yeah, that they really do too. And what I'll do is I'll use this, then I'll go to something else, and then I'll go back to this, and then I'll go to something else. And I alternate between like one of like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different products. I like shea stuff too. Shea, can't think of what that is, but I like those products too. And my hair is really soft, but with the humidity, I don't care what I put on my hair. If my hair, yeah, shea butter. I have shea, it'll come to me. But my hair, if it's too humid, and I also have a whole lot of hair, it's very thick, and it will get frizzy. So this I'm really loving, though. I'm really loving. And it smells so good. So I wanted to document it in here. So now let's go to, all right, that red is a little bit of a pinky red. So we're going to go here to the Schminker one. Shea Moisture Detangler. Yeah. I like I like the Maui or something like that too. My husband loves the one that smells like vanilla. Okay, so let's do the brown. And then we're going to use where's my white pen? There. This has that glittery look. I used Amethyst Genuine as the base coat. So it looks glittery. And I don't have to make it exactly how it looks. Alright, now I need to get the yellow. And I'm going to use this. This is the acrylic. Okay. Do I have... I do have a colored pencil. I have a gold pen somewhere. Not in there. Okay, 1 second, let me find. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe it's over here. No. This will work. Okay. That looks orange, so I'm going to use this. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. So then we're going to take a tiny bit of the neutral tint. We're going to do this. We're going to do this with a pen. I do have a pen. Alright, now I need to take a tiny bit of that purple. Sorry, my bracelet keeps clanking. Okay, now I need to add just a tiny bit of shadow. Okay, can y'all still hear me? Is everything okay? All right. Now I could have taken a picture of it and put a picture in here, but the more that I do stuff like this, the better I get at it. Does it look exactly like? No. Do I need for it to look exactly like? No. You're coloring while you sketch. Good. While I sketch. The reason that I wanted to do this, somebody, My Life Planned Out, is that her name? She did a video. When all of this goes up, I will find it and I will leave a link. She actually started a sketchbook. She did a whole video. She went back and watched both of the videos. This is the Sketchbook Adventures number 3. I wanted to do this one live so that I could do the flip through of the sketchbook and, you know. So one of the things, yesterday was the 30th. And I was like, well, I don't know. I wanted to do something different. So I think it rained yesterday, y'all. But in the morning anyway. All right. So you need to I need to okay. This is what I'm working on as far as pen and ink and that kind of stuff. I also have a book for children that I've been going back and forth with that talks about shading. I'm not doing any shade. I didn't really do a whole lot of that in here. I mean, I can tell there's light hitting on the edges of this. I could take so make that side lighter. so that it looks more. But if I get hung up on every single little tiny detail about this sketch, and if I wait until I get it perfect, it's not going to ever get perfect. I'm going to continue to work on it. Continue to work on it. It's like what I talked about here. Okay. This. That looks much closer to what the book actually looks like than the other blue. So it's closer. But if I start stressing out over every single little bit, like I think my daughter, hers, it's like a little bit of a green. So let's add a little bit of green into that. But it's not quite that green. So okay. Okay, is that better? Okay, I think, I don't know. I could have gotten better with this. Like this, the thing on here looks like it's got a bit of, see what I'm saying? I can always go back in and add details. And this has like tiny bits of red on it because paint got everywhere when I was doing this. Does that make sense? I can always go back in and make more detail. One of the things that I noticed can always find something in it that you want to fix. You know, for me, it was this. I wanted to fix this, and I'm going to go back in, and like I can go in right here because I have a little heart. Okay, anybody got any questions? Who else has started a sketchbook? I'm calling it Sketchtober because I'm not actually doing Inktober. I'm doing whatever I want to in a damn sketchbook so I can finish a damn sketchbook Tober. I don't want to concentrate on one thing, and I don't want to have like rules. I don't want to just worry about ink, and I don't want to just draw. I want to do whatever I want to do in a sketchbook, and I want to finish a damn sketchbook, and yeah. So that's what I'm concentrating on, is trying to get a little bit better, trying to figure out. See, here I go. I'm going to stop in just a second because otherwise it's just going to become a thing. And then it's going to become a more of a thing. And I'm going to want to fix everything. And that's not what the sketchbook about. The sketchbook is about having fun and practicing. It's not about having it perfect. Yeah. So... But see, some of these things I haven't went in. I did the original thing, and then I got busy with life stuff. Like I went in and did the original sketch and watercolored it, but all of it I haven't went back in and added any detail to. And that's the thing, is that I'm trying to do something in here every day. And sometimes it's the something where I'm fixing things, and then sometimes it's the something where I'm doing something different. I'm doing that day or the day before, because I don't want to be so hung up on trying to do this and it not being perfect. That I get a bit lost in the details and start thinking, okay, well, all of these suck, or most of these suck, or some of these suck because they're not perfect. So I have 10 people. All right, let me... Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm done. Does anybody have any questions? Can you let me know if you're actually doing, if you're doing this, and if you are, either share your video in the Journey with Burgess group or tag me in it on YouTube. I think YouTube let me know when, I think it's my life planned out, or my life plan. I will find her video and link it in the description below once this is up and published. For those of you who want to check it out, she did a great video. She is actually not doing watercolor, I don't think. She sketched with graphite and colored pencils, some of her colored pencils, and it was really good. She did a great job. I really enjoyed her video. So that's the thing. I mean, like I said, I could go back into every single one of these and add more detail, add more shading, add more color, add more whatever. I could go into every single one of these and fix something. But okay, I just want to make sure, because I wasn't sure if the chat froze or if I froze. I just want to make sure you can still hear me and see me okay. So I like how that turned out. This, I'm going to do some more journaling, like right here, and then that'll be done for that page. And then I'm going to add in the weather right here, and I'm going to add in some journaling right here, and then I will probably add in some journaling right here. I'm probably going to do the journaling about this stuff right down here, and then the journaling about, like, a little bit about the day right there. You started your first sketching yesterday. Great! Like I said, I'm not, I might choose a day where I do colored pencils. I did add a picture in here. I added the amp thing, which I need to actually get my red pen. I'm going to do this one because one of these knobs is red. And I think the other one is red and the other one is black. So we're going to do this. So that's, I mean, I'm doing whatever I want to in here. This is the solenoid, and this is the pressure plate for the SUV that I have to order. Is this Romney's class or someone else? This is my class. This is me. I did that in Romney's class, but this is just, normally people do Inktober in October, but there's some stuff going on with that, and I never do well with Inktober because mostly Inktober is supposed to be about ink. And I'm a rebel and a rule breaker, and I decided that I was just going to do my own thing for October. I'm not doing a prompt list. I'm not doing, I mean, I am doing the Halloween Chronicles, but that's in a completely separate sketchbook. That's in here, and that's there. And I took these and threw them in the back of here because I have 3 pages. Thank God this one's perforated. That's the frog I did in Rose's class. This is this is the New York line, and this is the United Nations. I'm going to be doing something with this. This is blue pencil sketch. And then I also have, where did it go? And I also have this in here. So I am just doing things. So this is for the Halloween Chronicles, and that's Poe. This is the cottage that he occupied from 1846 to 1849 in the Bronx, New York. And now I think it's, I don't know if it's still open to the public, but it used to be. And then this is a picture of him, and then I did my washi tape that has the ink bottles. That's supposed to be a raven and some splashes of ink. Oh, you're going to Poe's Thank you. I would love to go visit that, along with quite a few other places like that. But that's all I have in here because I missed the Halloween Chronicles this morning, so I have to rewatch them. Yeah, I sketch in my, okay, I do stuff in here too. Let me move these. But what I do in here is quite different than what I do in a sketchbook. Like, I don't care if sometimes they come out pretty decently. Let's see. Okay, I did the mailbox in the mail. I did the banana underneath the That's Bananas because I was reading I Shot Your Monkey, and I did the little monkey on watercolor paper and added the little monkey there. I do this kind of stuff in here. I did this kind of stuff. David and I have been watching Life Uncontained on YouTube, and I drew the container and my journal and the moleskin sketchbook. I put a picture of the frog in here. I drew the coat that I'm talking about in this voiceover for something. This was an abstract thing that had to do with the tarot. So you're an art teacher. When did I catch the creative bug? I was creative all through school. I was mostly a reader and a journaler, a writer. Dear diary, whatever. And when what's her name came out with Dear God, It's Me, Margaret. And a couple of the other things, like I can't remember the other one that she had. The girl carried the notebook around all the time. Well, I was smash booking in my journal before there was ever a thing called smash booking. I put pictures, newspaper articles, paper clip stuff, stapled stuff, used scotch tape, used glue. I put everything and anything in my journal. It went from being a diary to like a log book or a chronicle or whatever. I don't know what the term would be. It was my journal, and I put everything in it. I did doodle back then when I was in high school and taking art classes. They didn't really, everything was, it was acrylic or sketching. And I liked pen work. I liked using markers and colored pencils and colored pens. And I never have liked acrylic. If I'd have known about watercolor back when I was in high school in the 80s, it would have been so different. So when I went, the art teacher recommended that I take it. I took journalism classes and ended up a photographer for our high school newspaper. I wrote stories and took pictures for our high school newspaper. And that led me to being more, because I've always been a journaler and I love art, but I didn't like any of the mediums except for drawing. Okay. I liked graphite. Okay. Because you could make it lighter and darker and do stuff, but I hate acrylic. I really just don't like, and I hate oils more than I hate acrylic. I love watercolor and I love markers and I love crayons and I love colored pencils and watercolor pencils. But back then, let me just reiterate, I'm old. And back then, they weren't really pushing like watercolor. I mean, you had that, that's kind of like extremely cheap gouache and it smells funny. Bree told me the name of it, but I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, so I quit doing art other than little doodles with like or a pencil. My kids would be young and I would draw something for them. Like say the cabin on the log cabin syrup or, something else. I would do like a little doodle for them, or I would sit down and color with them and draw pictures with them. But I never quit journaling and adding stuff into my journals. Got into scrapbooking for a while, but it was so expensive and I was a single parent, couldn't really afford it. So I was always interested in drawing and always interested in art, but I started getting back into, I wrote poetry and I wrote short stories and I had some stuff published, but never for like money. Few years ago, I was doing NaNoWriMo and did a video. Everybody had a thing, was a tag video about your journals, because a lot of writers are journalers. And that led me down the rabbit hole of journaling people on YouTube with their journals. And that led me down the rabbit hole of the Hobonichi and drawing your day and watercoloring and things like that. And that was it for me. When I realized I can combine those things that I love and never really, my daughter gave me a set of colored pencils, a 12 count set of Prismacolor pencils, and a 12 count set of Prismacolor watercolor pencils. And then I had a Prang watercolor set. And one of the notebooks didn't work very well. I mean, oh my gosh, it ate up, like it just did not handle water. And I was not going to go through and glue a bunch of pages together. So I went searching and found a couple of different things. I found Astrology way back then. You know what I'm saying? Paper made me do it. Think that's her name. It was you that did the video. And see, my brain is all off focus today because there were a whole bunch of things. I didn't even do my sheet for today, y'all. This is October to-dos. There's no nothing for today. It ends with Wednesday and the floor that I did, because today I ended up with Selena and then I want to do the live for y'all. So I don't even have a to-do list for today. I had to go to Walmart and get the 75-foot Ethernet cord to go through the conduit. But anyway, to answer the question without taking up 40 minutes. Breathe, Burgess, breathe. ADHD. Hello, y'all. My squirrels. My squirrels. I think we are all born creative. I think some of us are more inclined to certain things. My husband is definitely musically inclined. Yes, paper made me do it. Yes. Yes. Well, I'm at the end. But anyway, so I think we're all creative. I think we can all do things. If you'd have asked me 10 years ago to do this, I'd have been like, what in the hell? I mean, I could have drawn it and done it with a crayon or colored pencils, but with watercolor, I'd have been like, what? Huh? Excuse me? You know, I didn't even understand, because back when I was young, they didn't have all that. And my daughter's more into acrylics. And I don't like sticky paint. I don't like sticky paint. I know there's matte paint out there, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Do you know how many palettes of watercolor I have? And now gouache. I'm good. I'm fine with the mediums that I have. I want to get better at what I already have. I don't want to delve more into something else. So this is my way of figuring out how I can get to a place where I like my sketchbooks and I'm practicing, because my journal where I do stuff, this is a little video camera that I did, and then I put a Wonder Woman Be Fierce sticker over it. This I did in a different sketchbook and took a picture of it and put it in here. I drew and watercolored that. That's the key for the Overlook Hotel in Colorado from The Shining. And here is The Shining, the Overlook Hotel. This is my October. It's all haunted houses or hotels or things from books. Haunted places. I'm going to do the Amityville house. This is just something I did a different with Ghost. You know, like, then I've got that one. So what I do in my journal, is similar. Like, here's The Raven, where I watched The Raven with John Cusack, the movie from 2012. I got busy doing actual stuff, and I did the sketchbook stuff, but I was busy doing house stuff and the sketchbook. And okay, so this will show you the 24th. Here's the 24th. David and I were in Lowe's. So I have it in the sketchbook, but I put this picture from the sketchbook into here. We went and had coffee, and he made me breakfast in bed, but I haven't put anything on here because I didn't have a to-do list that day. The 23rd. Here's the 23rd. In the sketchbook. Here's the 23rd in my bullet journal. So I got really busy with doing, you know, and I like, you can tell some days it's more, some days, and whatever y'all do, make sure you cover up your pictures if you use a heat gun or this crap happens. Like, you know, I do all kinds of stuff. There's Miss Selena. There's the fly that got in the house that drove me crazy for 3 days. And this was the Hurricane Sally. This is a piece of washi tape. And I liked it so much, I did the little flowers. I had a tuna fish sandwich and popcorn. This is the trash, because we keep forgetting. For a while, we had just gotten trash service. And in the beginning, like, we kept forgetting. And I finally, like, this got so filled because we cleaned out that shed that we ended up having to go to the dumpster. I did this in here. That's watercolor. No pen. Ruler. I've actually lost 10 pounds. I've been trying to, like, so sometimes I've been recording my food, doing different things. No internet. Was watching a replay of a video and this came up and that really made sense to me. There's something about it that I liked. This was where they marked our yard so that the people could bring the barn. We had to have them come and flag where the lines and stuff were at underground. So I drew them, watercolored them, and then took a picture of them, put them in here. Washi tape. A big thing of it I got for really cheap from Amazon. That came on a thing I got from Etsy. This was my palette. This was some stickers that came in. Watercolors from Rachel Beth. I tried this. Weeklies don't work very well for me unless, like, for certain things they don't. But this is my actual bullet journal. Gotta figure out what I did with Allie's washi tape. I love that washi tape. I never did write anything. Selena froze my phone up. So, but I find if I got a shark bracelet, I find that if I concentrate, I don't do as much drawing and watercoloring in my bullet journal. I realized when I did this, it was time for me to go back to a sketchbook because I like drawing and doing watercolor on Tomaway River paper, but I really, in order for me to improve, I need to start doing stuff on at least mixed media paper, really good mixed media paper, and then move up to watercolor paper because I want to get better at watercolor. And I can get better at the drawing with this, but it's harder for me to get better with the watercolor, I think. I really need to get to a point where I'm actually in a sketchbook. I document all kinds of stuff in here. That's Chad Daybell and his house, and this is Hurricane Isaias. This is when we got the floor done in the guest bedroom and got the furniture moved and got everything set up in there. But see, it just depends on my mood. Like this, my crooked pen. Does that make sense? I hope I answered. I think I just went around my ass to get to my elbow with that answer. But I believe we're all born with the capacity for art of whatever kind. And I love art. But my favorite thing is the combination of art and words. Whether it's pictures, art can be pictures or it can be a drawing. It can be, this is art. It can be whatever, this is art. Whatever you need it to be for that day, it could be, you know. Like these are not the same. Like this is one thing and I didn't even put the weather for that day. I didn't start doing the weather. I just started doing the weather here. I think some of us are more passionate. My husband is extremely passionate about music. Me, not so much. You know, I like certain kinds of music, but I have anxiety, real live, like anxiety. And some of my anxiety is triggered by certain kinds of noises. And there are certain kinds of music that has that screechy, that loud, and it will trigger my anxiety. So I have to be careful. There went my pencil. I have to be careful. I have Bose headphones that are noise canceling, and I put those on and I'll listen to, like, listen to podcasts or Audible books or something, or I'll watch Netflix on my iPad whenever, like, he's practicing, so I can't hear him. Because I love to listen to him, but when it's practice, it's louder. And in the little room with these big ass amps and the microphone and everything's hooked up, it's way louder than it would be if he was, say, outside or out somewhere where he were doing an event. You know, in the house, it's just a lot louder because we have a small house, and then he's in, you know. So when it comes to certain things, music's just not my thing, like that. But like when I write, I have to listen to instrumental music. I can't, if I'm going to listen to music. But I like photography. I love to read. I'm a big DIYer, so I'm extremely creative in a lot of different ways. But when I journal and do this kind of stuff, it relaxes me. And I like this kind of stuff. Like, I would love to eventually get good enough so that I could illustrate a children's book. Write the book myself and illustrate it, you know? That would be like the thing. I would love to do that. Write Victor and Selena a book, you know, and illustrate it myself. Because I like doing that kind of stuff. And that one's white. Really love what you do both in writing and art. I guess the question is, what's holding you back from watercolor? This, now that I'm actually doing this, practicing, like where it's not just in my journal, because what I do in my journal doesn't have to look good. I don't have to have it right. I don't have to have perspective right. I don't have to do anything. It's my damn journal. I can do whatever the hell I want to, you know. But when I start, to me, a sketchbook, I always felt like it was more serious. It was more intentional. It was more like, in the back of my head, perfect. You know, you see people's flip throughs of their sketchbooks and stuff like that. And what I kept seeing when I'm watching videos about how to get better at watercolor and how to do this, you know, they're showing their sketchbooks and it didn't look, you know, it looked pristine and perfect. Until I started looking at some other kinds of videos, and then I started realizing, and then later on, Romney did, I don't know, maybe back in the summer, the beginning of the summer, she was talking about repurposing a sketchbook. Yeah, mine never looks like theirs. And I think that's the thing. I was being precious. Like, to me, sketchbooks were precious. Like, that's why I have a bunch of them that I started. And then if I screw up something in a sketchbook, like if I really mess up something, I'm done. Because I feel like I screwed up the sketchbook. I'm not good enough to have that sketchbook. And it's not about comparing mine to other people as much as it's about comparing me to what I think I'm really capable of. And if I don't meet up to my own expectations, then I've effed up that whole sketchbook because I wasn't good enough. That page is all screwed up. And that's what this is really about for me, because for a few months, there was so much going on with this year and with family stuff for me and a lot of other things that I couldn't get past. Now, I could doodle a few things. I could do a little thing here or there, but in the bullet journal or in the other journal, I even put the art journal away, and I have 68 GSM Toma Wave river paper in that one, and I had it cut down 4. But see, the thing is, the only way that I'm going to get better, where I don't make things like the fly swatter / net full of cash from the movie. It really did look like a fly swatter had squished a bunch of flies there, y'all. The only way I'm going to get better is if I practice. The only way I'm going to practice and get better is if I practice. Practice, practice, practice. I gotta do. If I don't do, and I'm only thinking about doing, I'm not, that's why I'm doing Sketchtober. That's why I'm not, like, one day it could be like this. One day it could be like, you know, it could be this, and then the weather and a little bit of journaling. What I do for today, I've got a picture of Selena, a couple of pictures of Selena, and I don't know what I'm going to draw for today yet. Somebody asked, how do I know what I'm going to draw? I don't know what I'm going to draw until I know what I'm going to draw. But sometimes it's about something that's really working well for me. Sometimes it's about showing something, you know, like you could trace, you know, you can do all different kinds of things. You could trace a pair of scissors. You know, you could trace your pen or your pencil. You could use tracing paper. You could do whatever you want. I'm trying to actually do, like, things. This was fun because I wanted to get in a little bit of the details in that homemade sloppy joe, whatever you really call it. The track lighting and the beadboard, you know, I didn't write everything that was down on that insulation, but the Pink Panther was on there, and it was R13 faced, and that was what stood out. Yes, please make a suggestion. But that's why I've actually started. I started in this on the 19th of September, and I have done something every single day, whether it's filling in from the day before or whatever. And this, to me, is huge. Because I know how badly I messed up with this, but I didn't let it keep me from going further with it. I didn't let it stop me. When I had messed up this, I was like, it's okay. I know what it is. This stands out. I'm okay with that. You know, this isn't perfect. I didn't mean for that to be perfect. I drew that kind of cartoony. You know what I'm saying? Like, this looks like a young Captain Jack Sparrow. And I'm okay, but I have to remember that take an artist's work you admire and copy their work. You have the hardest time with perspective. You're trying to force yourself to find one thing to draw from a different point of view. Yeah. An artist's work that I admire and copy their work. One of the people that I really, really admire, she's actually an illustrator. She's a graphic designer, is Samantha Dion Baker. And I also like, I can't think of her name. That's practice. Copy their work. Maybe I'll do that for today. I'll find something. I've got her book. There's a couple other people. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to do realist, I can't think of what the word. I'm not trying to draw and watercolor things that look like a picture. I like taking pictures, but I do like to have things look like an illustrated version of, you know, it can be fun. Sometimes it's more cartoony, sometimes it's more loose, sometimes I do a bit more serious, you know. I don't think I'm ever gonna want to have work that looks like you can't tell the difference between it and a picture or the real thing. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? But I'll work on that. That's how you teach your students. I'll work on that. I know the reason I got Alfonso Dunn's book was because I wanted to practice the drawing part, learning perspective, because I forgot more than I remember. All of that kind of stuff. I just have been doing it by the seat of my pants, just like I used to write. And for a long time, I never used an outline. You know, art, I look at it, I do it from intuition, from just intuitively, you know. Sometimes I squint my eyes so I can see what it really looks like instead of what I think it looks like. I know some of it, but I couldn't tell you why I know it or what it is I know. I just know it because I took that in art class over 30 years ago. And some of it I remember, but I don't remember remembering it. I just know it because I learned it, but I don't know it. Like I don't know it to teach somebody how to do it. I just know it. It's like, you know, grammar, you learn it in school. This is a proper sentence, and I don't always talk that way, but I write that way. So yeah, realism isn't my thing. I'm always going to have more of an illustrative look because that's what I enjoy. That's what I like. I don't want my work to be super serious because this is about being fun and relaxing for me and just getting better and evolving and getting better at what I want to do. So I don't know, but I've been on here, y'all, for over an hour and a half. And I got to go start dinner. So you love her work too? Yeah. But that's my goal. If I could, Samantha Dion Baker. She's probably one in the top. And that's because I know right off the top of my head. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I had a blast. I'm going to relabel it and add the tags and stuff. Once it gets up, I will add Miss Paper Made Me Do Its video link to the bottom of here. And if y'all want to find it. But her name is Paper Made Me Do It on YouTube. And she started a sketchbook. And she quoted me. Y'all, she was hilarious. Y'all gotta watch that because I didn't realize what I said and how I said it until she quoted me, and then I was like, oh yeah, I did say that. So y'all have a great one, and I'll see y'all again. Okay, let me write that down, and that's the one I can ever pronounce. Guggen. Oh, you're welcome for the live. I had a good time. And y'all, if you're not sure, if you don't know, if you just want to start and you don't, like, a lot of people are, I don't know why. I mean, when we're little kids, we're happy to sketch, and everything that we do, we think is like the greatest and needs a gold star, you know? And trace it. If you're not sure and you want to start getting the hang of it, trace it. You know, get crayons. If you want to start and you don't know where to start, get colored pencils or crayons. Make it fun. Whatever it is you're doing, just make it fun and have fun. Because if you're having fun, you'll do it more. You will do it more often, and you'll get better if you practice. You got to do it, though. Thanks, y'all. Bye.